Hey guys, it's Kitty G with This Is R&B.com, and I'm so excited for our next guest. We have the Grammy Award-winning producer, Ben Williams, and Broadway's own Sydnee Winters. The dynamic duo have created the group Butterfly Black. Hey guys, welcome.
Hey, Khadijah. So
What's
great
happening?
to see you.
It is so great to see you guys. Sydnee and I go way, way back. So this is an absolute treat. You guys are in for a treat right now. First, let's just start at the beginning. How did you guys come together, and what's the meaning behind the name?
Wow. So we got together, we met a couple of years ago. My friend Tanari Vasquez, she's a castmate of mine at Hamilton when I was in Hamilton on Broadway. She invited me to a show, and Ben was playing in the show. She's like, "Do you want to come and see my friend?"
Tanari's an old friend of mine. We went to high school together, me and Tanari.
Yeah.
We both had a mutual friend.
Yeah, and so when a cosign is always the best thing.
Right.
So we went to the show, really loved his music, really loved his playing. And then a couple years later, I reached out to him and wanted to collaborate with him on my next project. But Ben Williams is booked and blessed. Like, make no mistake. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't available.
Yeah.
So a couple months later, boom, pandemic. And he released an album called I Am a Man.
Right.
And I listened to it and I was like, oh my gosh, no, this is exactly the sound that I feel like I want to be making. And I'm going to hit him up to see if he's like doing anything during the pandemic. So I went on Instagram.
Like we all are, right?
Right, exactly. And I didn't have his phone number. So I went on Instagram, slid into his DMs and was like, hey, Ben, I love your album. Would you be willing to collaborate? I am a songwriter. And he was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And absolutely, and like a lot of artists during that period, it was a very weird time, especially, for everybody, but especially for artists, sort of like our worlds just being turned completely upside down. So, no touring, no even just being in a room with other people, which is pretty much what we do, right?
Yeah.
But it also opened up this opportunity to collaborate, from a distance. And I was totally open for that, and just use that time to just kind of look through my list of people who I wanted to collaborate with anyway, and Sydnee was definitely on that list of people I had been checking out. I'd seen her perform before, and I just loved her voice, and I thought it would be, you just have a feeling, you just got to go with the feeling.
It's amazing how you said, like, during the pandemic, I feel like it was especially hard for artists because you're creatives, you have to let this creative outlet out, and you're stuck at home by yourself, which you can create, but then after a while you're like, I need to throw it on the wall, throw it to someone so they can hear it. So it was great that you guys were able to come together. So what is the meaning behind the name, your group's name?
Okay, so the story, as she mentioned, this collaboration originally started as me just kind of coming on as a producer for her next project.
Mm-hmm.
And as the music grew, it just kind of felt more and more like a duo thing than like a producer and artist.
Because he started singing, and he was singing on the track.
I was all in
the video.
Like, okay, well, all right, let's just go ahead and do this. So actually, once we decided that, obviously we had to come up with a name for the group.
Of course.
So, we're thinking about different ideas. And so I actually played on the soundtrack for a score to a documentary called Mr. Soul.
About Ellis Heslip.
About Ellis Heslip. You should definitely check it out. It's called, the documentary is called Soul. And I worked on the score with Robert Glasper. And we co-wrote the title track for the documentary, a song with Layla Hathaway and the songwriter Muhammad Ayers.
Come on. I love this. This.
So, I was just listening to the song. I think it had just, been released kind of around that time we were thinking about the name. And there was this line in the song that Layla sang, and she says, Black Butterfly, sort of referencing the sort of the offspring of the 70s kind of soul generation, which we are. And so I hit Cindy. I was like, "What do you think about the name Black Butterfly?" And like, yeah, that's cool. What if we turn it around, call it Butterfly Black instead? I was like, "Oh, that's even doper. I like the way that sounds."
And
So
to add to that, it's like we're going into the pandemic. We went into the pandemic as two separate types of artists, two separate types of people, individuals, and then coming out of this thing as a whole nother being.
Right.
So the butterfly is important, but
yeah,
we're Black.
Keeping it so. I love it. Yeah, I mean,
Black music
Yeah.
is just Black American music, and it is all the music that we grew up on, and all this we're inspired by that created this with modern context. Like, the messages are important. Our newest single, Lifetime, is basically talking about self-love and self-care and going to therapy and taking care of yourself so you can let somebody in that does take care of themselves too, so y'all can build a beautiful life together.
Yeah, and I love that you mentioned Lifetime, because the video is beautiful. It's very black and white, and it's like the solo shots and everything. So tell us the whole concept. I mean, you kind of talked about the meaning behind the song, but what about for the visual part? Like, what was it? Why was it important to have it black and white? Like, give us the whole meaning behind it.
Yeah, well, as Cindy just mentioned, the song is about, I mean, generally speaking, we like to address love, but like in a broader sense, right?
Yeah.
So, not just the romantic, the sort of cliche like romanticism that you usually hear with like R&B.
Right.
We want to talk about, like, kind of get into like the work and like the nitty gritty day-to-day work that you have to do, not just for the other person, but you have to do for yourself, so you can that much better for the other person, right? So that's essentially sort of the sentiment behind that song, doing the individual work and then coming together to like build something even that much better. So we just kind of just wanted to capture that through some of the like the signs with the some of our like insecurities and like the baggage that we bring. And we have the two boxes, we both holding our individual boxes, which sort of we can kind of come
Yes, yeah, we all come with something.
I have a box of stuff, right? So that was the idea. And I think sonically we were definitely tapping into that old Motown, like Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell sound. So I think, to me, the song sounded kind of black and white. And just went with that visually.
Yeah, we worked with an incredible director, videographer, and photographer, Lauren Desberg, and we talked about like what we are on the exterior versus what we are on the inside. So the shots that you see, like me in a high fashion gown, with pearls and everything, that's sort of like what I think I look like inside.
Yeah.
Like the stuff with me in a solid background with holding up the signs is like kind of like what's in my mind,
Right.
I'm sort of dealing with it. And then eventually we come into each other's spaces with our boxes, and he takes my box and carries it for me.
Right. Yeah. That's what we do. We still got to carry stuff for y'all,
Yes, it's a beautiful message, and it's a beautiful video. Everyone should definitely check it out. Cindy, you're quoted as saying, "I want to create music that reunites people." What kind of give us a little the meaning essentially behind that, and like, what do you mean you want to reunite people?
With music that has a message, it already sort of reunites people. But I love music that the artists and songwriters of Motown made back in their golden era, where literally their intention was to bring people to the dance floor together of different races and cultures. So it seems that now we're just trying to get people, men, women, and lovers lovers of people to come together back onto the dance floor. Because I miss we'd be at the club or we at the lounge.
Yeah, yes.
We'd be popping, but everybody's on the dance floor,
Right, yeah.
Connect, like you want to be able to connect with body language and energy. So, you know, when we were creating this music, our first single was I Just Want to Love You, and it's a bop.
Yeah.
So you could step with somebody and really don't feel no way. Like, men should not feel too cool to be dancing.
Right.
And women gotta really know how to speak through our bodies, you know? So that, I feel like that type of communication, that form of communication is sort of being lost. And so, like, you know, it'd be fun to get back on the dance floor, you know, and bring people back out from outside and from in front of our phones and get into that leg lock, you know?
Yes. And obviously, like I said, we go back a long time. So my question to you is, you know, I feel like just watching you as a friend, watching your career throughout the years, it's been a beautiful evolution, and I'm so proud of you. But how would you say, you know, starting off being a Knicks dancer and then, you know, going on Broadway, writing your own and producing your own show for Lena Horne, which I want to get your take on. How excited were you when you saw that she had a theater named after her? I was like, oh my gosh, Sydnee, you need to go and perform there. But how do you feel? And then you know, had your own music as a solo artist. And now you've evolved, you know, and now you're in a group and you're constantly, everything that you've done, you've built press, you've built a name for yourself. And like, how does that feel, you know, to just see that people are really appreciating and loving your work?
Khadija, I feel so grateful. I feel blessed. I feel lucky, just so lucky that I've had a chance to do this. I'm an independent artist. Let me just start by saying that.
That's what I'm talking about. I was waiting for you to drop that.
Independent artist. Never been signed by a label. I've never been a part of any sort of deals. I've had collaborations, but I've never had, you know, a machine behind me. Right. And so to be fortunate enough to get publicity and press and it really came from my relationships and my friendships, and also a reflection of how people respond to the work.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't create this music if someone wasn't there to challenge me, you know. Yeah. I am challenged, and that's how I create. I'm inspired by what I see and what I experience, but then I'm also challenged by my friends who are also in the industry who are killing it.
Yeah.
And so I love that, and I love that. And when you mention it right now, almost it's been 18 years since I started in New York as a Knicks City dancer. Yeah. And last week I just performed at the Barclays Center at a halftime show for the A10 conference. That I can't believe that, like, I went from being on the court as a dancer to now being a feature headline performer. It's
mind-boggling. It's just mind-blowing. Like, it's amazing.
Independent artists.
Right.
And Issa Rae said this, you know, when you start out in your career, you don't try to look up. You look out. You look at the people who are next to you on that same path. And you work with them, and eventually, you know, we were classmates.
Yeah, I know, and look at us now.
You know, so it's really about staying connected to friendships, and this my generation and the generation before and behind need to continue to stay connected, because it's really about people and not about the machine.
Yes.
About the machine.
So what advice would you guys give to other independent artists or, you know, kids that are looking up towards you to, you know, aspire to be like you guys? What is some advice and lessons that you've learned along the way?
I mean, I would say the first thing, you know, and this is coming from my perspective as, you know, as an independent artist, but yes, as a musician first. You know, so my background is, you know, playing, recording, performing with very high caliber musicians of my age as well. You know, I've played with some legends, but just like Cindy, I'm just inspired by my peers.
He very humble though.
I know, I can tell. I'm like, he don't want to drop the names. It's cool. It's cool. Keep it humble. Keep it humble.
Well, I've toured with like Pat Metheny, worked with like Kamasi Washington, Robert Glasper, David Sanborn, people like that. And
come through. Let them know.
So like my bar just for artistry is very high.
Yeah.
And anything that I want to be involved in or be a part of creating or just being a part of, it has to be excellent. You have to start with like that high bar of excellence. And I would say, for artists, you have to really work. Your first priority is to be great. I know it's easy to be distracted by like social media and kind of just looking around and feel like you're not doing, you're not where you should be or you're not doing enough. And it's easy to just kind of get lost in the mix. Like, what should I do? Like, what should I look like? What should I be saying? But you got to start with that work. You got to really love what you do. You have to absolutely like be like not even borderline, but like completely obsessed.
Yeah, you do.
Because that's what keeps you going. Because the independent artist, it's hard.
Yes,
it is not easy at all.
You will spend your last dime.
You will.
Really,
and someone else's dime too that you borrowed.
And someone else's dime.
You hope to give back, but you can't guarantee it.
You're investing money, time, and energy all into yourself, and it can kind of deplete you after a while. So I think for me, what keeps me going is the music, is the thing that you're creating. And I would say, aside from that, just be honest. You just got to be really genuine about what you're doing, because you're going to be spending a lot of time. Hopefully you'll spend the rest of your life doing this. So it should be something that you love doing, and just be authentic. Don't be discouraged by kind of how things may look at a certain point. You just got to keep going. You got to, you can chop down an oak tree. It might take a while, but
right.
You every day, and then you'll knock it down. So
that's a fact right there.
Right.
You have to stay true to yourself. I know going into as an independent artist and getting a lot of no's, and just sort of being overlooked because I don't compromise my work.
Right.
I wanted to create music with a message. And, that hopefully will stand the test of time because the message is the important part in it. And I'm still writing music that has a message, as I did, back when I was just beginning.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I did a concert now and in 10 years ago that reflect my music and my creativity from 10 years ago, I would still feel good about it and it would all belong in the same show.
Yeah.
As you want to evolve as an artist, but yet my core is that my core is true to me. I'm a big fan of taking care of yourself and shining your light.
Yes. And you both are shining in great messages, great gems, great nuggets for people, just in any field. It doesn't even have to be music, just being authentic, staying dedicated, and, being true to who you are. Yeah, I love it. So who are your top 5 artists that you guys would love to collaborate with?
That's a good question.
Collaborate
with. Okay. Dead or alive or
doesn't
alive?
matter. Yeah, dead or alive. Totally.
I would love to collaborate with Michael Jackson.
Oh, of course.
Who
wouldn't?
I would love to collaborate with Pharrell.
Mm-hmm.
Just because we're artists, so I would collaborating with like another creative mind like that would be so dope.
Yes. I would love to collaborate with Missy Elliott.
Yes. Another genius. Another one.
a queen. She's really a queen. She's responsible for some of the greatest songs and energy and music videos, and she's just a creative mind.
Yeah.
Always thinking outside of the box.
Yeah. Okay.
And you from Philly, so I know you'll like this one. Questlove.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Definitely.
that's what music is very much like in line with how I,
Yeah.
that whole like that geek culture. Music.
Yes. Yes. And I just feel like I just want to give him a hug. Like, it's so nice.
He's made a real career out of like his true love, his true passion.
Yes.
Across the board,
Right.
Yeah. Artists that we know and we respect, I would say Addy Oasis. It might be a surprise, but Thundercat.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yes, I can see that. I don't see that as a surprise. I can see that. Yes. Yes, that was good. That's dope. I can see all of these people and just imagine like what that whole sound would sound like if it was like all of you guys together, like.
Bassist is an incredible bassist as well. So my favorite instrument is the bass. Like if I could play, I would totally like.
There'd be a lot of bass in that room.
Be a lot of it.
Yes. Yes. So
make great again.
Yes, for sure. Get a bummer sticker for that.
Prince.
I mean, Prince. I would probably. It would take me like a year to just get ready to
just talk to him, right?
Right.
Just to be like, okay, this is the sentence that I came up with.
Right.
Your Highness.
Your Highness, how are you? How does this work? I will listen. I will just be a fly on the wall. You take charge.
I met Prince. It was very intense.
Yeah?
Just on my end. There was nothing he did.
Was it kind of like that episode? I don't know if you ever watched the show New Girl.
I did, yeah. He was
Was he just like that?
Yeah, he's just like, I mean, that's like one version of him, I feel like.
Yes, of course.
Person whenever he wants to.
And I would love to also collaborate with Erykah Badu.
Miss Badu, yes. She's, wow, I don't know. She's just so out of this world. Like, no one is touching her. Like, and her voice is just insane. The things that she can do with it, it's like mind-boggling. It's like, wow, how are you able to do that?
Her whole concert experience is like you are inside of her womb.
Yes. We are all here for this experience, for sure. So what's next for you guys?
Oh, a lot. We are currently working on the debut EP for Butterfly Black. Should be out, late spring, early summer. And we'll continue to work on the full album, which hopefully will be out later this year. And just getting out there, doing some shows and spreading the word. We just did Good Day New York.
I saw.
Getting some wonderful opportunities. So we just want to show up and with some good music, continue to just spread the word.
Yeah. I always, when people ask us like who are some of the artists that like are out today that Butterfly Black kind of can fit in with, I'm like, we are the male-female version of Silk Sonic.
What you doing?
Right.
Hey, I love that.
Because we're both show people. We're both performers.
Yes.
So
yes.
When you come to a Butterfly Black show, you don't know what you're gonna see Sydnee Winters in. That's for sure. I might have a mullet, I might have dreadlocks. We're gonna give you these tunes, but we're also gonna give you a whole show.
Yes.
I jokes too. Like I love it. I love it.
I mean, if people haven't picked up already by your energy from this interview, I mean, it's pretty evident that you guys are entertainers and that you're gonna give a great performance. How can people stay connected with you?
You can always check us out on all our social media platforms at Butterfly Black Music. We're on Facebook, Instagram. You can listen to our music, including our latest single, Lifetime, on all streaming platforms. Tidal, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, everywhere you get your favorite music platform. And you can also support us on Bandcamp, because Bandcamp is where where the artists really, really get the direct support of our fans and our supporters. Like, you can buy our album, you can buy our singles, you can choose how much you want to pay for them. Every dollar goes toward us, and it really helps us continue to do what we do as independent artists.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys. Before you go, do you think maybe you could just give us a little sample of what we could feel and experience at one of your shows?
We're gonna bust a little something for you, Khadijah.
Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 'Cause I've been standing alone, handling my own. I go to therapy. I believe I'm whole. I practice self-love, not looking for anyone to fill me up. Then here you go. You let me be you. And to me, you go to therapy. You love me like a queen. With you, I'm free, creating legacy. I see you, you see.
We will see together, baby. I spend my lifetime getting ready for you, baby. See this feeling I get with you.
That was beautiful. That was so great. You guys are incredible. You guys are just phenomenal. I'm so excited for everyone to continue to support you. Guys, make sure you check out Butterflies Black and check out their latest single, Lifetime. It's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you next time on thisisrnb.com. Take care.